Learning and loving with you. Guys, I'm also learning and loving with don't know much about the keys in music or how to edit or how to do anything on YouTube or how to do anything, but I'm learning and loving with you.
I love that. What an absolute bop. I literally went on a little music binge of yours last night and I'm obsessed. Total fangirl. Love
I
it
love
all.
this. So
Amazing.
I went and watched all your stuff like last week and I was like, look at all these little clips and freaking awesome, your hat and all the like, I don't know. It's just so joyful. Like you don't find in our story. And then I was also listening to your story. I never heard your freaking story. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's way more involved in the whole Scientology world than I ever knew. Like the way you were raised and the standards and the things that are just programmed into our lives that we have to feel and be and do. And none of that has to do with like having fun and living your life and being artful and being okay with messing up. You're like not allowed, you're not supposed to be messing up in the world of Scientology. You're always, and you're always 2D flowing. That was always my thing. Oh, you're probably fucking millions of people are doing drugs. And I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So yeah, that was really fun. I did a dive in yours as well. So this was so fun.
It's meant to happen. The
Yes.
meetup was meant to happen, you know. And for you guys that are watching on my channel or on Lara's, go check each of us out. I've put links to your Spotify and thing down in my description because you need to hear some of these tunes. They are amazing. And yeah, I thought like we could sort of have a bit of a chat about what's been going on at the weekend, you know, with these protests, because I watched all of it and you guys did an absolutely beautiful job. It was seeing that scroll you guys rolled out and, you know, walking it down the street outside of Celebrity Center was amazing. And it was peaceful but powerful. And I really loved that.
Yeah,
what did you feel about it all? Was it emotional? Like how
it
did
was
you
weird.
feel?
I felt like after the other protests that I've done, I felt like, oh, this isn't going to hit me too hard or whatever it is, you know, just like I just thought, okay, you know, I've gotten used to sort of the falling in emotionally and then coming out and somebody coming up and attacking me and being like, okay, shake that off. And, you know, so it's almost like I'm prepared for all kinds of emotions to show up. Whereas before I even went to protest, I was so afraid of these emotions coming out. I thought, oh my God, how horrible would that be if I'm freaking out and crying or, you know, and then all those things happened. So it's just kind of like this last protest felt so healing, not only for me, but for all the other people that joined us and that Liz created that whole art idea about the scroll and all that and just all the help she got with that. It just felt like we're finally doing something. We're finally doing something that is making us feel good, that wasn't taught like, oh, Scientology has a policy letter of how you're supposed to handle yourself after you leave the Sea Org, or like there's no like reference to like get your own life back together or to own your own life for once. So it just felt really cool to have all like Serge Delmar, Liz, Gail, all both the Liz's, Liz Ferris, her Carrie, just everybody there, Michael, having streets and all the protesters that have been going out there. It just felt like none of us have to be here and all of us want to be here.
Yeah,
And
I wanted to do that.
yeah, and it just feels so finally supportive. It's funny, like you think we would get sick of this, and now it's like, oh my God, this is the thing that all of us has needed. Like we were never allowed to just come up and make our own, you know, sort of freedom, you know, freedom of speech or having a voice or any of that. It was always so controlled all the way down to even if we were doing something good, quote unquote, for the Church of Scientology, it would still have to be approved. It would still have to be like, oh, is this approved by so-and-so? You can't just do things. You can't just be a Scientologist. You have to like specifically act and do specific things that you don't want to do as a Scientologist. So yeah, the protesting and everything, the whole event at CEC was just so refreshing. It was so, yeah, emotional. I also know there were a lot of people there that lost it. emotionally, and I was so glad to be there to hold them and hug them, and like, because I was like, I've gone through this, you know.
Yeah.
So
And do you think with it being, it was very emotional watching it as well, like, do you think um that fear that lots of us that grew up in Scientology have around emotions and not being able to express yourself and stuff, I mean, I think maybe we have a different thing with the music stuff, right? Like I listen to your songs and I think, wow, like you can really express yourself in beautiful, beautiful way.
mhm.
Um, do you think that at these protests that fear is like dissipating away?
Oh,
That
yeah,
fear around
that's
emotions?
the same exact fear with the music and creating something and putting it out and being like, "Oh my god, everybody's gonna hate it or love it or not get it at all." Um, it's the same thing. You have an outlet now that you're screaming or you're yelling or you're talking to somebody, you're just holding a sign and somebody's going like, "Yes, I agree with you. Fuck Scientology," or whatever. And it's the deepest thing. It's letting your child self be right. It's like nobody even gave you a road or a platform to even feel that you had courage to be right by your own decisions. And so even yelling or Liz Ferris having her free Bob Ferris sign or whatever it is, this is her child self finally taking back what was stolen from us. So it's huge therapeutic group situation, everybody showing up, like, it's gotten rid of a lot of fears I've had on even just being live on YouTube and talking about stuff.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, you all in the chat. We are live and we are unapologetic about being
Fearless.
so.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not, we will continue. So it just feels, yeah, it feels really good. I can't wait for you to be able to come to the US and see how is it over there? I wanted to talk about how do you how is there a poll or anything happening over there in the UK where people are showing up, or where are you right now? Is that where you
So
are?
I'm in London right now, and
Okay.
I know some things have been maybe going on in Manchester, but and I think there is something scheduled for L. Ron Hubbard's birthday. I think Apostate Alex is scheduling some kind of
Yeah.
party thing.
Yeah.
In terms of like Squirrel Squad esque, I'm not that sure. I'm still quite new to the whole TikTok thing, so I'm kind of just finding
Me
people
too. No,
as we're
I've
going in.
literally people have told me like, "Oh, I saw you on TikTok." And I was like, "What TikTok?" And they're like, "Oh, well, just on TikTok, on people's TikToks." I'm
I'm
like,
not
"Oh,
gonna lie, you're
yeah."
quite easy to spot. You're in your bright yellow jumpsuit, with your
Yeah.
you're very easy to spot in the protest streams.
But that's also part of the whole thing is I want people to go, "Oh, there's that yellow girl or the goldenrod chick." And that brings out the whole like, what is that? Why is she always wearing that color?
Yeah, I'm not convinced on it yet, Laura. I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying, but I
Everybody
don't know.
Kelly thinks she doesn't look good in this color. Every person, every chick, female, actually a few men too, think that they don't look good in yellow, goldenrod. This is a made up like the way that I see you, you look like a bright, shiny, sunshiny babe. That's literally how you look right now. So
Justice for Goldenrod. Justice. We're bringing it
justice
back.
for goldenrod, exactly. Yeah, the goldenrod needs its beautiful uh uh like the color of goldenrod is actually like a healing
Flower,
sort
isn't
of,
it?
yeah, well, the golden poppy or marigolds. Either way, both flowers are amazing and they're both goldenrod. But they take the ink from the petal of the flower and to make goldenrod. And for you guys don't know out there, when you get excommunicated or declared an SP, they print it on this color paper. So it's really bright and obvious. So everybody in the org knows this little bitch has been declared. So I think we're just I feel like I just run up on that and it feels so good. If I look ugly or not, I'm like, I got goldenrod
You
and
never
it's
do. You look
serving the purpose.
great. No, it looks great. You make it like a fashion statement, honey. I live for it.
Yeah.
I'm just not convinced of it on me yet, but maybe it'll grow on me. Who knows?
No,
Who
it's
knows?
really good on you. See, look, two beautiful marigolds.
Yeah, we're
That's
just
cute.
we're just on here. Thanks,
Hey,
Kyla.
can you guys wait until after?
Um, Now
Yeah,
your
so
your song, I want to talk about it a little bit. I know
okay.
because
Which
obviously
one?
I want to talk about the song "Oh Darling."
Okay.
because I am obsessed with it, darling. I think I've played it like 20 times today. I love it. I even learnt the beginning of it on the piano because I was like, how does this go? Beep, 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 beep. I'm
Oh
here
my
for it.
God. No, I love that. That's actually
Um,
the only things I knew were like certain keys, like My Learning and Loving song starts off with me. Don't know much about the keys in music. I don't know much about you, about the world. I don't know much about the opinions of whatever the fuck it is you think about me. All I know is I'm going to keep on learning and loving. And so this one was, it was more directed. The Learning and Loving was kind of like I'm out in this world and I'm learning and loving about the world, right? With the people who hate me, with the new people who love me, with the family members I've disconnected or have, been disconnected from, etc. The Oh Darling was more like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing with your life? I've been controlled by this gold whip and like your opinions all the time. And yes, sir, what do I do now? And it's kind of like, what are you doing? Oh, darling, like, what are you doing for yourself? And it was
yeah.
kind of like for me to myself and to other people to question themselves. What have you done today? Yeah. And the heavy control from Scientology and the frame of mind that you can't even think out of the box, out of just being on your couch on the same routine, say, oh, mascara, go to sleep, wake up, do the same fucking shit again.
Yeah, well, I loved it. I thought the lyrics were amazing, and production wise, like I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this is nice. I like it. And then that gold whip snap in there, I was like, oh, hits. I'm in. Okay, what's going on? I
So I
loved
had to
it.
say when me and the producer were working on that, I said there must be a whoosh, like a whip, like a
It was
sound
great.
of a whip right out your gold whip, like kind of like your gold, your money. Your money is forcing me to do everything. Yet you're holding the gold whip. It's not like I own the gold whip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, I thought it's an amazing song, and I'm pretty sure Netflix are going to knock on your door one day and go, "Hey, this." It was almost giving me like I could see it in like an intro to like an Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt type thing. Like
I love that.
it
So
gave me that kind of vibe.
I would want to, I mean, I'm sure you're all obviously busy. You do music and edit and everything. So there's no way you're not always busy. But I would love to shoot or do a music video with you. I think that would be
Yeah.
fucking amazing. And also, yes, you can absolutely use any dun dun dun. And I wanted to talk about this with everybody. You're doing currently right now, you're doing a documentary, right? About the
Yes.
protesting and everything going on. Can
Yeah.
we
Well, the
talk
thing
about that?
is, yeah, I am so shocked and a little disappointed, to be honest, that there's no media coverage of any
Mm-hmm.
of what you guys are doing. There was the Rolling Stone article about how the Scientology protests have created a heartthrob. Nobody cares about that. That is not what this is about.
Right.
Or how protesters are pepper spraying people who just want to go to restaurants. It's a lie. That's not what's happening. The reflection in the media right now is not reflecting what you guys are actually doing. So I can see that there's a gap there, and I think what this is a part of history. I do think it's going to be a part of history, and I can't believe that the media are not doing anything. So
Right.
we're the media now, I guess. So
Yeah, so it's also very interesting, like, part of the way to expose Scientology so far we have seen has not been to go the normal route and go get an HBO show and no, it's not exposing anything because all these platforms have limited, capability of their
yeah,
business control of being able to freely speak. So it's interesting that people wanna call themselves journalists and, media outlet news people, and they're twisting the fucking news.
yeah.
It's like we're starting to go, okay, well, the police aren't helping us, then we're gonna film them and we're gonna start filming the attitude between a ex-Scientologist, a current Scientologist, and a business connected with Scientology and covering up rapes and things like this. So, excuse me,
The big
for
cough.
the 420 Big Jane. Um, so yeah, that's what I was saying. There's no outlet currently. Like even when we had NBC, fine. So there's some people that are like, oh, well, some news and some out coverage is better than none, right? to a degree, but like, why are we doing a job for somebody? Like, if NBC is going to put out a freaking report about what's happening and not mention La Poubelle or the rapist Danny Masterson or his connection with the owner of La Poubelle and how they were brought to the ethics officer at Celebrity Center to not report these rapes to the police directly. So this is more than just Scientology. Okay, guys, this is more about the news outlets not getting the story right. They are intentionally not. They have fear by some of their job or their superiors or something. Same with the police, or they're getting paid and they don't give a fuck about the story. They're going to give the story. They're going to write the story to the person for the person that's paying them. So if you have
is that what you think it is? You think they're being
100%.
paid?
I also think, well, I think that NBC is afraid to say anything. It's normal. It's normal behavior and it's routine. They're not the only ones. Most Rolling Stones, they're completely in cahoots with Scientology. They're never going to outright write a horrible review exactly how Scientology is. They would like. There's too many people that they had so many detailed reports about the protesting, about the testing center shutting down, and how Angel is not a, some famous little like, oh, let's worry about Angel or Sebastian. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's more to it. And it's so pathetic to me that journalists can consider themselves journalists in media and they don't even get a simple, very clear story because of the threat that they might receive from Scientology, whether that's financial threats, lawsuits, whatever it is. So if you're
and the fact that you were all there with that 75-foot long receipt, guys, if you haven't watched it, go and see it. You can see it on all of these guys' channels, Lara, Serge, Liz, and you all rolled out this giant receipt, explaining your stories with some beautiful, beautiful speeches, heartfelt and just really real. And not one reporter is there. And I couldn't, outside of Celebrity Center, like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is going on?
No. This is, you have the LA news outlets are covered, and there are some, they know about this. They know what's going on. They're just going, oh, we're going to pretend that we didn't just show up. There was a van that showed up, KTLA News, that showed up to the Gelsons right next to it. And I said, you know what? The other night, I said, let's go up and make sure they know, like, if they're going to be reporting something. He's like, oh, we just reported a shoot, of a gunshot, something downtown. And I was like, okay, well, here's right up next to this. This is, so, and it's just like, if they're not being told the order, just like somebody in the Sea Org, go get this, go do this, go attack this person, go get the info, go blackmail this person. It's the same thing with a news reporter in a company. Like, if you don't have your independent, like right now we have a lot of amazing independent journalists, like News Report. All the live streamers are technically media people. They are media because they're showing reports, and there's actually no editing really done other than this is what's happening. This is what we're doing. This is who's pushing and attacking people. These are the people coming out and fighting against this, even though they're saying they protect rape. Why are you protecting somebody like this? What is your ties? What are your connections? Are the owners of this restaurant responsible for your landlord or your, you know what I mean? So there's connections and ties everywhere. And it seems to be that way with the police department. It seems to be that way with the news outlets. So it's amazing that there are people like you who have taken their time to learn and do like editing things where you're able to go, you know what, this isn't right. If I worked for a news company, I would be putting out a really awesome report right now that would totally change the minds of people's lives about Scientology. And they're not even doing that. So I feel that I was like extremely like, what, you're doing a documentary about this? This is awesome. This needs to be put out immediately. It needs to be shown why was something so incredibly, passionate and amazing and loved by so many people, and so many people, the whole protest was actually so beautiful. Nothing like insanely, it was just beautiful. It was like voices finally being talked about. All the people on the list that have not been talked about because they're not alive anymore, to not be there standing with us, yelling and feeling the same fear and really, I don't know.
No, you're right. And I think that came through on the streams as well. I couldn't be there. But I got to watch you guys all do that. And I felt that kind of cathartic healing thing, that somebody stood up for what we went through. That's really amazing. And I think it needs to be, curated together and put into something, because this is a part of history. This will be the part of Scientology closing, because that's what we want to see. I don't know about you, but it should be bare minimum 18 plus. But
21.
ideally, this
21, because
doctrine
then they
is,
groom people. You have
yeah,
outside Scientologists who are paying the money to keep this organization alive by paying for their ethics or whatever overage to get pulled, all
yeah,
their auditing sessions to get these BTs off of them or whatever the hell. And that money goes right back into lawyers and people attacking that are attacking Scientology. They go into the lawyers and into the whoever's that are attacking that they don't want on their record. So they're just using this money to make things worse for the people that are exposing. So it's absolutely, there's no like blurred line here. It's like, if you're a Scientologist, you're helping them. You work at a restaurant that supported a major Scientologist that was covering up rape. This is just one incident of a celebrity from Scientology Celebrity Center that was doing this and getting away with it. This is just one of the actors there. There are a lot of people connected to this man, Danny Masterson, that were drugging people as well, including myself. But we'll go there later on a whole nother thing. Yeah.
what?
Other actors that were doing the exact same thing as Danny Masterson. So the names, they'll start coming up. But this is one thing. This is why it's so intense to have somebody like Francois Coster, or the Francois, as I say, Francois, the manager and the owner of La Poubelle, who were so deeply connected to Danny Masterson and their fellow Scientologists, giving them discounts and deals for their participation of keeping that restaurant and that vibe and that watering hole going. While at the same time, while Danny was raping and drugging these freaking women that were Scientologists, these reports were being written to the ethics officer at Celebrity Center.
Yeah.
What do you mean there's no connection? There's every connection, and made it 20 years longer for these fucking people to get justice. That's why it took so long, because Scientology's policy letters literally make the victims have to go to the ethics officer, not the outside world justice system, not the police. So,
Yeah.
so it's a very
one of the news channels did report on this, the La Poubelle thing, right? And they didn't go into the sort of Scientology connection. They just said, you know, the protesters are a protest in this restaurant had something to do with an actor. You know, they've had to cut their staff hours. Was very much on their side. For you guys that were out there protesting, what is the goal? Is it to inform people and raise awareness of the connection? Is it to shut the restaurant down? Like, what do you guys aim to do when you're out protesting La Poubelle?
Yeah, that would be the ideal, is to close down her restaurant and her. It's not the restaurant, it's her. It's her allowing and knowing what happened and being and still going every day to court with this person, and then attacking the Jane Does and using some really gross language toward them during court after Danny was sentenced. So she's still, they sell Danny's his vineyard grape wines that are sold by his sister. Oh, his sister's wine. Okay. They sell that Fallen Grapes wine label from Danny Masterson's vineyards. So he's in jail. His what do you call that? To get commissary. Where's his commissary coming? Who's paying for that? Who's paying for all of his little visits? Who's paying to take care of these little properties and things for him while he's in jail? There's a lot more connections to that. So yeah, La Poubelle needs to be shut down. But the thing is, we're also exposing to the neighborhood that this long-term connection of Scientology and all this underground sort of like, don't expose it. Don't say something because you might get attacked by Scientology is not going to be okay. This neighborhood needs to be okay with letting Scientology get out of their neighborhood. Celebrity Center needs to go back to a nice, beautiful hotel or whatever it's going to be. That's not Scientology. La Poubelle can be shut down and somebody else can own that beautiful little corner and whatever else she owns on that lot. And she can say goodbye to her family little, her family restaurant, whatever it is, because she ruined it by doing something this disgusting, by staying connected and shutting up the Jane Does and shutting up people that are exposing Scientology and their connections.
Yeah,
so yeah,
I hear you, man. I hear you. No, that's I think what you guys are doing is great. So I'm glad to see it. It must be hard. Have you experienced any sort of Scientology plants or anything? We know the LAPD is quite cozy, but
Yeah.
any suspect people coming out that are a bit dodgy? What do you think?
I always do, and at this point, I don't give a shit anymore. I really don't care. I'm like, here's the point: if you are supporting a rapist or a hardcore Scientologist of any kind, then I don't care what you think. I literally don't care because you're not hearing what's happening. You're not. If you're part of the Nation of Islam, you're not hearing, you're not doing your research and finding out what are these egotistical connections between Louise Farrakhan and Scientology. What are the connections between La Poubelle, Celebrity Center, and Danny Masterson? What are the connections? Like, it's why not just splooge it out? If you have an opinion of me, like I said in my song, I don't give a shit about the opinions of what it is you think about me. All I know is I'm going to keep on learning and loving.
Amen,
Learning and
sister.
loving with whoever is going to learn and love as well. Like, if you're going to reject me or if you're going to, I don't like, then bye. I don't care. If you're going to listen and it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation, I'm going to fucking have way more respect for you and for our conversation and beliefs. If you believe something else, that's okay to talk about it and to kind of let the ego ride and see where it brings you is kind of also an awakening. People can learn from this. People can learn. I don't like this behavior of myself. I don't like that I'm feeling like I have to support the owner of this restaurant because her family and her grandmothers were best friends with my grandmothers. It's like, okay, but your grandmothers wouldn't be okay with this. Like, get over it. So yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
feel about it all.
No, it's great. And you've brought that energy to those protests. I have seen it.
Yeah. I
There's
mean,
also
people are going
been
to come out. People are going to come out. They're going to criticize. They are going to try to get in your
yeah.
face. And some of them are even there just to do that. So you just have to laugh and move on. It's simple. It's as clear as night and day. You are either a Scientologist or you are supporting Scientology and their criminal cover-ups because of a friend or a family member. It does not matter. When you know these things are happening, you're either doing that and you're supporting it, or you're listening and changing your mind by hearing the protesters tell you what is going on. So yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Let them come. Let them get noisy.
No, it's good. It's good. And you've, with all of that has come a lot of loving, like you said, learning and loving with all of the other sort of second generation, third generation kids of Scientology that have all come together in LA with you, right? Was there anyone that I know you've protested before and met a few of them before? Did you meet anyone for the first time? Have you guys all become sort of close friends? How is it meeting other people that were in
Um,
Scientology too?
so it's been weird on so many levels because there's people that have left the Sea Org and then left Scientology, everything, and that are coming out that that I knew in the Sea Org. So when I'm seeing them, or I knew them as a Scientologist or somebody that was definitely not on the side of this outspoken sort of, but I feel like it's interesting to allow people to change or to, come out of this gross manipulative organization that has made us feel like we have to be or act a certain way, and then to see them out there and having that fear and yelling and letting it out. It feels like there's no other way to do this. Like, there's no other way to do this other than like going to the predator, going to these organizations, these hotels where they are doing this, they maintain and hold this behavior, and just letting it out and going, there's something healing about it. And then when somebody comes to like attack you or say something, you're kind of like, get out of my face. No, I don't have time for this. That's not why we're here. So it's strengthening. It's like releasing the fear, and then you get stronger. It's like going to the gym. You're like, oh, this sucks. This is so much hard work. But then, you come out of it and you're like, I'm so glad I did that. So it becomes sort of
Yeah.
addicting, like a runner.
I think some of that energy you bring there definitely has inspired some of the other guys there too. You are not afraid to yell, to make your point known, and I love that. And I've seen other people be able to do it as well. Like I think there was one point where Liz Gale properly like screamed at
That's
them, and
exactly what I was
I thought
talking
it
about.
was you. I thought it was you. It wasn't, and I
She
was
said
like, oh
no
my gosh,
more. Yeah,
love it.
and I think it was on my live stream. That made me emotional immediately. That's when I realized, oh my God, I'm holding this scroll, and we had come around, and I was holding the scroll with all the names, and I just was like, and watching her yell out, "We are the last generation. You are not." Woo! It
Yeah.
comes back every time. Like, you are not going to do this to any other generation.
Yeah.
That got me. And
And
I
that is
know
the
how
one,
much.
isn't it? That's the one,
Yeah,
that's the demand. We wanna be the last generation. If this doesn't stop, though, we won't be.
right.
Like, that is how serious this is that there are children in there right now who maybe in 5 years, 10 years' time will be stood where you guys are stood, saying they wanna be the last, we wanna be the last ones in here, well, out of here, and it needs to stop. It needs
Yeah,
to end now. So that is the importance, and I fully am here for what you guys are doing, which is why I want to curate what you guys have sort of put together, and
yeah.
document it, because the media won't seem to do it. So to roll
I
up my
love that.
sleeves and get my edit game going for this one. And we started
Also,
talking because literally I heard your music and I was like, I think you should be the one to have the soundtrack to this piece. I really, really hope that we can figure out to make that work, because I hear a lot of the struggle and the pain of Scientology doctrine almost in your words and the way you sing stuff. That might not make a lot of sense and sounds so wanky and artsy to people in the comments right now, but I get it, and I'm here
yeah,
for it. And I just really, really want to be able to. I think you could carry that soundtrack to that protest for sure.
I love
Which
that.
will be
That's really cool. So if
beautiful.
you need, we can send you, I mean, there's a lot of people that have these clips and whatever you need. So if there's anything you need to put the protest stuff together, like if you're like, hey, who was there for the NBC interview, or, is there footage, whatever it is, like there's so many streamers that have these clips that will easily be able to email to you
Yeah.
to make that easier, or whatever it is that you need for your editing.
Yeah, I've been downloading quite a lot of them, so I've got some of it going. It's a lot to filter through, but I'm working on it. It's going to be beautiful. But yeah, thank you. I will
Wooza.
message. Yeah, it's gonna all come together like a beautiful pie. It's gonna be great.
I love that.
So I'm excited about that. And that's what's brought us together today. People in my chat, don't know if it's been the same for you, Lara, but people have been like, you need to talk to Lara. Like, you guys
Yeah,
need to
or they're
do
like
a thing.
yeah, they say, "Do you know Kelly Copter?" And I'm like, "I heard her." And then I was like, "Yes, I know who she is, but we never chatted." And I'm like, "There, yeah." And I always
Yeah.
have to like, I pull back a little because I'm like, "Hey, everybody's in their art world and does their thing. Like, who has time? Who we don't even know who has time for what." So I just kind of was like, it was perfect how this went down. You're like, "So, hello," and I'm like, "Yes."
Yeah,
I
you
and I
guys that are
actually,
watching, this is our first chat ever, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
when I
literally,
texted you earlier, I was like, "Yeah, we can chat later," and you're like, "Okay, I'll do a stream." I was like, "Oh, okay, I
yeah.
thought we were gonna do a phone call."
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. This
But
is
hey, I'm
good.
here for it. Why not?
Yeah, I love it. And it's so applicable for today, for our music protesting, and you're doing this documentary for of what's happening with the protesting right now. And it's not just in LA, it's all over. I was just watching the Chicago stream,
Yes.
Selfless Self, and everybody else out there. There's like 30 plus people out there right now in the Chicago uh protest for that, or whatever. So, and then there's Toronto, there's like everywhere, Denver, Jay, and it melts. There's something about it where it's like, oh my goodness, you can see, it's like you imagine like the world and all the little lights that are like shining wherever there's protesters. And I just feel like, oh my God, we're just gonna lighten it up, lighten up the world and get rid of this dark, closed, manipulative, structures of organizations hiding as a church.
Yeah, and it sends a message, doesn't it? We are not afraid. We
Yeah.
are not scared.
Yeah.
So,
Like there's a point when you just lose that fear. Like Osa is gonna always, there's somebody right now in the chat that's being a stalker. You may want to block them. Uh do you know how to do that
I don't think I can do anything from this end.
from your end? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there's a few. So, but I don't care. We don't care. Literally, we do not care. Like that they try to spin, they'll try to be like, damn, these two right here are real fun and joyful. How can we spin it so that they start questioning each other? And it's like, it doesn't happen. Like reality is right here with me. So like if you're this and I'll just see it. I can see it. So I can feel it too. And I love your creative, beautiful, fun, like light, little like smart, I have to say sort of nerdy because I don't have that. I don't think because I don't have the intelligence of the computer world. So I can't be a nerd when I'm not. But it's so cool. It's so
You're a
cool.
music nerd though. Everyone's a nerd. I think if you're
I
not a
guess that I do
nerd,
get nerdy in there. Yeah, I
yeah, if
do.
you're not a nerd, it means you don't have any hobbies. Do you know what I mean?
And
If you're not
you
nerdy
don't go
about
deep into
something,
something. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, you have no
Totally.
hobbies if you're not a
I
nerd.
love
So
nerds. Oh my God, I'm such a nerd
yeah.
lover. Probably because I'm like, oh my God, you can do so much more than I can. And they're like, what are you
No,
talking about?
no, I feel the same. When I was listening to your stuff, I was like, damn, this girl can sing. Like what was the other song I was listening to? It was Happy Dynamite.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
The
Happy
balloon was
Dynamite.
mad creepy balloon, but I loved it. And your vocals in that are beautiful. They're stunning. Like you can really like belt it out and sing up there. I know you do a lot of doubling. There's a bit in your little pre-chorus where you're singing it like down the octave and then you've got
Yeah.
it in the background but really
Yeah.
high. You can belt that though. I'm
Yeah.
like, bring it forward, bring it. I want to hear it. And I loved it. I think you've got stunning vocals, and I'm excited to see where you kind of go from here as an artist musically. I think there's a lot of good things
Oh
in your
yeah.
future.
Very much. This was just like, cracking the eggshell a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
what songs could I get away with without getting declared an SB?
Yeah,
And
so
then
when
now
did
it's
you
like,
start
nope.
making these? Like, I don't know all of your story. I know you were at the ranch for some time, and
But I
I
never
don't know
did
much about
music.
when you
Yeah, I never did music or like it was never allowed. It was never going to be a path or a route for me in the Sea Org. And my whole life was in the Sea Org. So it was almost like one of the reasons I left. And I remember Marlon Holt, the security guard, laughing at me. I was saying, like, I wanted to do more with music to help Scientology. Like, I was like, I feel like Tom Cruise is not doing enough for the amount of fame and well known. And
No,
you're
you didn't
laughing
say
at
that.
me.
Tom Cruise, he's not doing enough.
I
I
was
love
like,
that.
how are we working 24 hours a day? I was like, then if he's not doing enough, then I'm not doing enough in the Sea Org to be when I knew I had all this, whatever it was. I don't even know what you call all this. I was just like, I have,
Talent, baby.
and I want to create and I want to live my life. Anyway, so that was one of the things I was like, I didn't leave the Sea Org thinking I was leaving Scientology at all. I left just thinking I was leaving Scientology and I was like, watch them. I'm going to show them. But then as I started to get out in the world, my first band, my only other band that I was in, Little Red Radio, some of them were Scientologists. So it was easy for me to be on this tour and we were singing about nothing having to do with Scientology. And it was just like party, fun, whatever. But me and him being allowed to make fun music and random beats and tunes and just singing about random shit, like took my attention away from Scientology. And because I was doing that, I was able, like, I remember being on a tour for like 2 or 3 months and I hadn't thought about Scientology or my parents or anything. And I felt so happy and free. And I was like, I could do this forever. I'll just be this road rock star forever, you know? And so, yeah, it started with that. And then slowly, more and more, the more I wanted to be more free, the more I didn't want to have to hold my tongue on certain subjects, the more I wanted to write music that really was saying what I was saying, or at least I was like, all right, I'm going to let my heart out and, write this Happy Dynamite song and nobody will really know what I'm talking about unless I tell them. And so I don't need to tell them what it's about. They'll just hear it and go, oh, this song reminded me of this or this. And I'm like, good, like it's there to heal, but I wrote it for a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's the best thing about music, isn't it? Is that it's very much open to interpretation. You can only, the lyrics are a form of poetry. People can interpret that as whatever it means,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they think it means, because it's about emotions. It's all about emotions. Is there a particular song that you've done or a moment where that changed for you, where you went from just singing about quote random shit as you just said and doing something that really comes from your heart? Did that change at some point?
That's an interesting question because in Little Red Radio, even though we were just singing random shit, part of what we were singing about, like, oh, she dirty, I would just like what we were singing about was part of the build, the muscle, like that was giving me strength to eventually write the music and the stuff that I'm doing now, and the new music that I'm doing now that is completely different than, I mean, it's still got
Ooh.
my vibe and my thing, but so I just feel like even in Little Red Radio, even though I was still a Scientologist in my mind, even though I was trying to run away from it, I still was I was still learning how to own my voice, so to speak. Like I was learning how to feel, even if it was a party song or if I was being like, fuck you, I wanted to be able to say that and feel that live. And so that helped me, you know, that even though life is wild, it's going to send you, when you start living life, it'll start sending you through all sorts of opportunities. And I have to be like, ooh, which one to go? Where we never had that ever. So yeah, it's quite joyful. It's quite fucking amazing. Like, yeah, part of being able to swear and like, dude, guys, it's opinions are opinions. Living life and doing things, getting off the sofa, not just lying around. What did you do today? Instead of just criticizing people all day. Yeah, it
You
feels
almost
like
sound British. You say like, what did you do today, my love? You say it almost very British.
love. You know what?
Love.
I probably got that from Flock of Seagulls, the singer of Flock of Seagulls when I was on tour. He'd always be like,
Okay.
"Good morning, my love. My love. You want some muffin?" He would always say, "You want breakfast or whatever, like biscuits or something." And it was always in my head. "My love, what did you do today? My love," because my love is so dearing. It's so like, "Oh, my love," like, or if you're angry, okay, my love, or whatever it is, right? So I'm being like aggressive and, "Oh, darling, what did you do today, my love?" Like I'm your inner voice yelling at you, like the old
Yeah.
lady being like, "Get off the couch." Weird thinking, guys. But yeah, I don't know what it is. It's probably a mixture of me growing up at the ranch and then going to Florida and like being really into the whole English accent just by itself. I'm actually quite good at it. Once I've got it on, I almost sound quite English. But
You
so
do,
it
to be
does
fair.
come out, to be honest. What do I say that my friend laughs at all the time? Proper. Quite proper.
Proper.
I think I'm quite proper. But, yeah, so
You
I
are
don't know what
quite
it is.
proper.
I I do have a little bit of an accent somewhere, and in all things, even in my low notes, I'm like, well, yeah. I sometimes can have a little Russian sort of twist on it. I'm
Why not?
very vocally open. I don't have restrictions on how I sing. So when people
Yes.
say I'm a good singer, I'm like, what does that mean? Like, on what level? On the grr or just the ability to be able to use my vocals so
I
many different
think it's
ways.
about the feeling, like, loads of
Mm,
people can sing in tune, sing a note, whatever. I've
yeah.
come from like this musical theatre background, which is so different, I know. And it's very like sing it on pitch and say the words correctly. Like it's very different.
I hate
you
that.
know,
I've
yeah,
resented
I
a
get that.
voice coach. I've never gone, but even on the way going, I was like, "I don't like this. I don't wanna be a good singer." I was like, "I don't like this. I'm being forced to go do something right now that I don't wanna do." So, obviously, if I go in, I'm probably gonna resent him, like, you know what? My voice is a little sore today. I don't think I should do a vocal lesson."
No, it's
My
fair
voice
enough.
is never sore.
There's always a kind of there's looking after your instrument and all that kind of thing. But the I think people that say, oh, you're a good singer, it's because you put your 110% in as well. And
Yeah, I like
like,
that.
I
The
mean, you got
performance.
range, honey, you got range. The tone of your voice is very unique and really interesting, which I love to hear because it doesn't sound like every other thing I've ever heard. It's very you, and that's what putting your stamp on something as an artist is. It's putting you into it,
Yeah, yeah.
um, which is what I love about it. And I was just like, damn, this Lara is going on, honey. Like I'm here for it. So,
That's
it's
amazing.
things are gonna be
I'm here
exciting
for it.
and
I'm here for it. I love your ad. I love how you make your songs and music. I feel like we're totally going to be doing lots more, even visual art stuff, or maybe setting up shows where we have other, SPTV community people performing and putting out. I feel like I want to do a whole warehouse show, sort of music vibe, SPTV party kind of art tour or something. So I
Yeah.
feel like I'm gonna be like,
Oh, I'm sure the
Kelly.
cogs will start turning and we will find a way to do some kind of cool collaboration. And people have been asking for it as well. If you guys want to see us do something together, make sure you subscribe to us both and let us know that you want to see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can definitely work on something together.
I love that.
And
I
yeah,
also,
I'm
Beth, thank you
excited.
for this.
Thank you.
I undid her thing, but it was up there the whole time. Beth, thank you for your thing. So impressed with the lady who got out, survived, and thrived. Loved you both. Rock on. Yay. Jacob Harkey.
Hey.
Jacob Harkey is a great person to talk to too. He's out there protesting. He even came out on the very first protest I went to, where we were protesting the Blue Building for Eat Predators, and that's where I met Jacob. And Jacob's been around and helping and being so supportive. He got me the night on the Celebrity Center when we were there. He was crying, and that hit me hard again after I had already been crying. He's just been there. He's an angel. He's so sweet. He's so kind. He's respectful, way more respectful than my mouth. And he's such a little Clark Kent cutie.
I've
But
only heard his revoke Scientology song, you know,
text.
it's
Oh
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Church of Scientology
Technology.
should not be a 501c3. I was like, yes, I'm in.
Yes.
Let's do it. So Jacob, we're here for that.
Yes.
Get it recorded, get it online. We want to see it. Bring us the studio edition, and I think it needs some more verses to be added. I think everyone could add a verse to that song, and it'd
and
be
he's
so
down.
funny.
Yeah, he's down. He's ready to be jamming anytime. He's always down
Yeah.
for that stuff. He's awesome. These are your members because I don't have memberships. So you
Oh
just
my
got
gosh.
new members.
Oh, guys,
Nikki,
thank you.
Donovan,
Anyone
Gifted
that has
One,
become one.
and we're LA Mac.
Yay!
Nice. You
That's
guys.
awesome. Thank you. You guys are
they keep them
propellers
going.
of the channel. Thank you so much. Your support is really, really appreciated. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. You two warm my heart so much. Shelag. Shelag.
Shalag.
Shelag.
Hey,
Shelag.
shalag, whatever will be, will
Ooh,
be.
that's probably what it is. There you go. Thank you for your beautiful chats, guys, and your donations. So also, guys, later today, I'm going to be doing a live stream with DOA, probably quite soon after this, down by the Blue Building. He does these interviews. He's doing SBTV interviews, and then he's doing streamer interviews. But he's in his hammock and he interviews streamers. So I'm going to be doing that with him today outside Blue. So I might bring my little protester proud SP sign and do a little protesting there. And then at 5 o'clock, I mean, it starts earlier before then, but Mirriam, we're doing a fundraiser. I think it starts at 5.
It's 8 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard.
My time. I thought it was 8 p.m. my time, which is Los Angeles time. And I was like, oh my God, it's 5 p.m.
Keeping up with all your time zones is crazy. So it'll be starting at 1 a.m. GMT for me.
So,
and then it's
I was like, wait, it's almost 1 o'clock here.
5. See, is it Central Time? Is that what you're on?
Pacific Standard Time.
Pacific Standard, and then 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. So wherever you guys are watching, no,
8 p.m. Pacific Standard. No, shit. No, that's right. Eastern 8 p.m. You're correct. Wow, we shouldn't even be talking about this. None of us, I didn't get my GED, and I clearly do not remember all of the 50. Actually, I do. I could probably do it now, but yeah. So Mirriam, we're doing fundraiser. I'm so freaking excited for that. Please be there. Please donate. It's to support her in therapy, and it's so much easier when you just have more money than you had anticipated. And I want to do that for her. I want her to get so full of just donations and love and support that she doesn't have to worry about money or, getting enough therapy at a certain point or how much she needs or whatever. So go support that.
Because lots and lots of different creators are going to be doing it tonight, you guys. So you can come and watch us all do that. I'm not entirely sure what we're doing yet. If we're just hanging out, chatting, who knows what's going to happen?
I do not know. And I don't care. Like I said, it's almost better to just jump in and go at it.
Yeah, but it should be some good fun. So, guys, please show up. Mirriam also has a YouTube channel. I'll make sure I add it to the description so you guys can go and follow it. But she's got a brand new channel.
Yeah, do
She's
you
going to be
remember what
going
it's
through.
called? It was kind
I
of an
think it's called
interesting one.
Rage Against the Dark Arts, or I
Yeah.
think it's Against the Dark Arts, but it's Rage Against the Dark Arts, I think.
Yeah, and it's like red and black or something.
Red and black, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys will see
So
it.
I can see a couple more members have joined. Thank you, guys.
I keep pulling. Like, you guys,
I'm not in the controller seat today, so I don't know what's going on down there. But thank you so much, you guys. You are awesome. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Lara, I'm so excited. We finally got to just chat. Like,
I am too.
You're such a good time and really
you are
easy
too.
to talk to. So.
Yes. Yeah. You too. I feel like I definitely see, for some reason I have this visual of you like DJing and playing like tracks and backing vocals, and me and Serge are just right in the front doing like all sorts of I just love it. And like the little white lights and love it all. I just have
you ever tried to get your
vibe.
hands on some of those MIDI controller gloves? Have you seen those?
People have put them on me, and I'm like, I wouldn't be able to do this by myself. So there's no reason for me to get deep into this, but they're super cool. I'm totally down if people want to come to the show and be like, oh, hi. Yeah, I have this little outfit, LED outfit that goes, and you put it on me, I'm down. But if I have to control it or do it, and that, no, I have to perform. I'm in this wild nest already. So.
I mean, if anyone's going to pull off a fully LED outfit, Lara, it's you.
I would do it, especially if it was goldenrod by any chance. Happen to be goldenrod LEDs. That I might allow. All right.
I'm sure there's a way to make it happen.
Is there anything else you want to say before I end this session? Just kidding. That's so disgusting.
No, I think my needle's floating. Thank you so much.
Mine too.
Great. Your $10,000 is in the mail.
I'm keyed out.
Gosh, I'm making myself feel sick.
I feel very keyed out and theta, very theta,
theta
potato.
So theta. Oh, I have a theta potato somewhere. Where did he go?
I was just looking for my theta potato. I'm like, oh,
where?
Yeah, he's on top too.
Wait, no, I've got him. Here he is.
Wow, the theta potato just got kicked out of the room. Oh, there you go. Theta potato.
Go.
Oh, now I have to get mine. We cannot. I feel bad about my theta potato. You know, I got a whole collage here. Right?
I was going to say, what's in that box? Let's put them together so that I can send a screenshot to Marilyn so she can be like, there they are. Get in the middle. Ready? Yeah. Imagine 3, 2, 1, screenshot. Everyone do it. There you
go. And then, you know, I also have my like Lara FM doll in case nobody wants to talk to me. I get to talk to myself.
Oh my God.
She even has a onesie because I wear onesies a lot.
Who made that? That's amazing.
Lone Dinosaur. She's amazing little angel babe. A while ago.
Wow.
She's been and then of course, you know, my golden Rodney and all that, right?
Yes.
We don't need to be swinging dicks around on this one. No. That's for the next episode.
Not today, thankfully.
Thank you, Janice. Great way to end with a floating needle. Your chat gave me one too.
Hey.
Liz Ferris, love you all. Okay, I love you guys all. Go to Mirriam's channel. We're going to be live with her a little bit later, and I may jump off and go do this Blue Building interview with DOA. Keep posted, keep tuned. I cannot wait to talk to you and create with you, and let me know if you need anything. I'm so glad we finally met up and interacted.
Same.
I love it. Okay, sending you guys out with learning and loving.